graduate, get like that.
My name is Nelson Thomas. Everybody call me Bones. I am a filmmaker. I would like to think of myself as a black activist. I'm a father. I'm a child of God. I am all of that.
Can you just briefly talk about what your journey has been into filmmaking? How did you get here? Also, your journey, because I know you go to school right now, your journey going to ASU and studying film, what was that experience like for you?
First, it was photography. I love photography, taking pictures, the natural world. Then my brother, he is actually an aspiring artist as well, and he always needed somebody to hold the camera for him. So then I moved from actually taking just stills to actually doing video photography. So I used to hold the camera every which way he wanted me to hold it and figure out what was the best angles and things like that. That started my journey on to actually video. Then I started getting into music videos heavy. I knew I wanted to go back to school, but I just didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. But I started enrolling back to school, and then I started to figure out, I was like, ASU have a good film program. I'm like, oh shit, they got big ass cameras you could play with, stuff like that. I'm like, I could definitely see myself playing with their cameras and creating some shit. I could see myself creating shit. And at the same time, I always loved movies as well. Growing up, watching movies with my grandfather back when I was young. He had this basement. He used to always say, we don't have to go to the movies. We got the movies here.
My dad used to say that too.
Facts. So he had one of them big ass, old ass fucking screens where that bitch is on the floor, big as hell. And he had surround sound at that time, because my grandfather, he was always technical and hip. So he had surround sound, he had that bitch going. So facts. So I was already in love with film. So I was like, okay, this could be a really good interest of mine. So I started really following to that. And then I started going to GCC, then I transferred over to ASU. Then I'm like, okay, I think this is something I can do.
What themes or emotions do you feel most pulled towards as an artist?
Real world topics, things that people battle and deal with every day, things that people wouldn't want to talk about, hard topics, tough topics, family topics. Like I said, I think of myself as a black activist, so I really want to show black people in a positive light, just so we can see that and get that consciousness, oh, okay, I can do that, I can be that. That's like Bill Cosby answering the phone with a doctor's gown on. That just shows you can be a black person can be a doctor. There are black people that's doctors. So it's I just want to show my community what they can be and how far our imagination can take us, in that we can make that come true as well.
Word. I respect that.
Appreciate it.
Because I feel oftentimes I want to see myself represented in these spaces as well. That we hear on the internet and just all of these just negative things that we hear about our people, and I choose not to engage with that, because I want to see us in good spaces and positive spaces and healing and stuff like that. So
that part.
Yes.
It's Kent Hopkins. He actually been a major push in confirming this what I want to do, just by helping me on the way. I feel people that believe in you, that don't really even necessarily see the work that you do, but they just believe in you. I feel that's confirmation permission from the universe, from God, to say like, this is what you're going to do. This is what you're supposed to be doing. My girl, she's probably one of the my biggest supporters like ever. Like even when like we was first started talking, like she was just always like, let me know like you're cold, you're good, like you know what you're doing, trust me. So it's like people like that. Her, my mother, she never seen nothing that I did, but always supported everything that I do. So those relationships. Oh yeah, and my sister as well. My sister, she always been in my corner. Like she always tried to get me to like take family pictures for the family and things like that. So yeah, those support systems right there always pushed me and kept me aligned to what I want to do.
Man, I really want to get into this short film, and it's called Blackness. My question is, what place were you at that you feel like you really planted the seed, or what made you plant this seed for this idea for this short film?
To be honest, it was always something inside of me, because like before like starting the short film, like we wrote down like topics we all wanted to talk about, and these was one of the topics I had wrote down. Like I wanted to take a self-discovery on like, why do I change who I am in certain situations. So that kind of actually started to see like that right there. I always wanted to take a deep dive into that anyway. So this was the perfect opportunity. So I was like, hey, let's do it. So I was exactly. I felt the line with it, and asking my classmates, they was like, I'm like, out of all these topics, which ones you guys would like to see? And I was like, well, since it's a personal documentary, we probably would want to see you more take that self journey and discovery on that topic. So that's why I decided to do Blackness.
Okay, cool. Thank you. In Blackness, you talk about like navigating, white spaces and code switching, or like, this way of like having to assimilate, and rejection of it. How do you feel, or how do you think these experiences impact you personally as an artist or creative? And what, if any, are some ways you take care of your mental space and show up for yourself?
Man, well, first let me just say this. Growing up in Chicago, Illinois, and in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and really seeing that black people don't really own a lot of things, and there's a lot of us in the working class, and so a lot of times my perspective is white people own everything. So like coming from that perspective, it's like, okay, how do I please if white people own everything, how do I please this group of people that seem not to like us? And this is my perspective, right? That seems not to like us. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe assimilate and act more like them, act more how they act, and maybe that's how you get in. And I have seen with my first eyes, I have seen people act more like white people just so they can be accepted and get certain positions or get certain jobs or get certain opportunities. And I feel like I don't want to go down that road. I want to be myself. Like you said, I want my light to shine. And I feel like if I'm acting like someone else, I'm letting their light shine, and I'm dimming mine a little bit, right? That we can do to show up for ourselves is, for one, to really just talk about it, right? To talk about how we feeling, no matter who it is, brother, sister, cousin, uncle, nephew, best friend. I think that's the first thing to do, is just to have have that space where you can communicate these type of feelings that you're having, because it's like these feelings not coming from nowhere, right? This not coming from thin air. So like we should address these feelings when we feel like this. And I feel like once you address it, you're more conscious of it. Now you can kind of pinpoint when and where it's happening. Now you can kind of navigate how you want to move around it. You can choose to navigate to move around it, like as in assimilate, or like you can choose to move around it as in be yourself and let them accept who you are. It is what it is. So I think those are the ways that we can show up for ourselves. And plus as well, I think just having that emotional intelligence as well, to know like when you're feeling some type of way, and to be able to just really take that time and to figure out what you need to do to better yourself. I think it's just knowing what works for you and how to identify that, and that's another way you can show it for yourself as well.
Looking ahead, where do you see yourself going as a filmmaker? What are you working on, and what kind of stories do you want to tell next?
The future is bright, man. Man. Yeah, but you gotta put that energy out there. But filmmaking is extremely hard. But with that being said, I really do see myself actually making it big in the industry and actually creating stories and TV shows that represents Black people in the most positive light. So I do see myself making it somewhere big at the end of the day. But right now, currently, I'm working on a psychological horror. It's called Faithful. I'm planning on shooting it before my son gets born, and he's supposed to be born like in March or April. So I'm shooting it between now and March. I also just came from Lion Gates. I'm gonna give y'all some free game. Verticals, they are in vertical dramas, so I'm a look into vertical dramas as well, and probably like create a bunch of those and see if I can sell those as well, just to try to get in the industry through like a back door, side door way, because you know there's always multiple ways of getting into places. So I think that's what I got going on right now.
To see like how that blossoms out and see like what comes from that. And, you know, I hope to stay in touch with you.
Nah, we will for sure. We will.
Sure, man. But thank you so much for coming out. And this is Dr. Brenner, man. Thank you.
Thank you, broski. Yes, sir.